Your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, is back, and today, we're shifting gears from horsepower to geopolitics. Because when global trade shakes up, the auto industry feels every bump in the road. The US and Europe are locking horns once again, with Germany, France, and Denmark leading a collective charge against Trump's policies. From territorial disputes over Greenland to the looming threat of an all-out trade war and Tesla's ongoing troubles in Europe, this one's got more twists than the Nürburgring. Buckle up, let's dive in. Trump's Greenland Gambit, a political iceberg? In a recent meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, former President Trump once again floated the idea of acquiring Greenland, declaring, "I think it will happen." He's been fixated on the Arctic territory's rich mineral resources and strategic location, calling it a critical asset for US national security. But Greenland's response? A hard no. All 5 political parties in its parliament stood together, calling Trump's ambition unacceptable and reinforcing that Greenland's future is for Greenlanders to decide. Denmark quickly backed its autonomous territory, with Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen making it clear. Greenland is not for sale. European heavyweights, including leaders from Germany and France, also dismissed Trump's claims, citing concerns about NATO stability and the broader implications of territorial sovereignty. But territorial disputes aren't the only source of tension between the US and Europe. Trump's escalating trade war with the EU is another major battleground. Tariff tensions. Europe hits back. Trump's long-standing gripe with the European Union, EU, is no secret. He's accused the bloc of unfair trade policies, claiming that while millions of European cars flood US roads, American manufacturers face barriers in the EU market, and he's not bluffing. New tariffs on European vehicles could be his next power move, but the EU isn't rolling over. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has warned that any tariffs on European goods will be met with swift countermeasures. French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz have joined the chorus, standing firm on the need for balanced trade agreements. For automakers on both sides of the Atlantic, the stakes couldn't be higher. Tariffs could drive up costs for European manufacturers like Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes, making their vehicles pricier in the US at the same time. American automakers looking to expand in Europe, like Tesla, would face increased hurdles. While both sides acknowledge that a trade war would be a lose-lose scenario, tensions are rising. If tariffs do hit, expect a ripple effect across the entire automotive supply chain, from raw materials to final assembly. Speaking of automotive turbulence, Tesla is now facing its own crisis in Europe, not from trade wars, but from ethical concerns that are hitting its bottom line. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and steer towards our next point. Denmark ditches Tesla. Ethics over profits? Denmark's pension funds have taken a firm stand against Tesla, pulling their investments over concerns about labor practices and corporate governance. Akademiker Pension and Pension Danmark, 2 of Denmark's largest pension funds, cited Tesla's anti-union stance and Elon Musk's leadership as major factors in their decision. Akademiker Pension CEO Jens Munch-Holst stated that Tesla's refusal to engage in fair labor negotiations had exhausted their patience, leading to Tesla's placement on their exclusion list. Pension Danmark, overseeing assets worth nearly $46 billion, echoed similar concerns, emphasizing their commitment to ethical investment principles aligned with international labor rights conventions. The issue escalated when Tesla refused to sign a collective bargaining agreement for Swedish workers, triggering widespread strikes across the Nordic region. Danish unions joined the movement, blocking Tesla shipments and intensifying pressure on the automaker. This move is part of a broader trend where European investors prioritize ethical considerations, especially regarding labor rights and corporate transparency. Tesla's defiance of European labor standards has not only damaged its reputation, but also led to financial consequences, with mounting opposition from regulators, investors, and consumers alike. But the damage isn't limited to Tesla's investor relations. its sales numbers are reflecting the backlash, and the numbers are alarming. Tesla's European meltdown, sales crash, and reputation crisis. Tesla's once dominant position in Europe is taking a sharp nosedive. In Germany, one of its key markets, Tesla's sales collapsed by a staggering 76% in February 2025, following a 60% drop in January. What makes this even more concerning? The overall EV market in Germany actually grew by 30.8% during the same period. While other automakers are thriving, Tesla is losing its grip. The numbers paint a bleak picture, but public sentiment is just as damaging. A recent survey found that 94% of Germans have no interest in buying a Tesla, signaling a dramatic shift in consumer trust. Several factors are fueling this backlash: concerns over Elon Musk's political entanglements, Tesla's labor practices, and the growing presence of European EV manufacturers. On top of that, Tesla's reputation is taking a beating on social media. Public protests, viral campaigns, and even vandalism of Tesla properties point to a brand that's losing favor fast. Once seen as the face of the electric revolution, Tesla is now fighting to stay relevant in a market it once dominated. But what's really driving this shift? Musk's increasing involvement in European politics is creating a branding nightmare for Tesla. Musk's political gamble, a branding nightmare? Elon Musk's increasing involvement in European politics isn't doing Tesla any favors. His vocal support for Germany's far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD party, which made significant electoral gains, has alienated large portions of Tesla's customer base. European consumers, many of whom prioritize progressive values, now see Musk as out of touch with their expectations. This political gamble has cost Tesla more than just goodwill. Investors and former supporters are distancing themselves, wary of associating with a brand tangled in controversial ideologies. In an era where corporate image is everything, Musk's personal opinions are casting a long shadow over Tesla's European ambitions. Adding to the tension, Musk's skepticism about climate policies is clashing with European regulatory priorities. Despite Tesla's role as an EV pioneer, Musk has downplayed the urgency of environmental reforms, questioning the necessity of strict emissions regulations. This stance directly contradicts the EU's aggressive push for sustainability, making Tesla's position in Europe even more precarious. And that brings us to the big question: can Tesla turn things around, or is it too late? The verdict: is Tesla's European reign over? Tesla's struggles in Europe go beyond sales figures. They reflect a larger shift in transatlantic business dynamics. With growing skepticism toward US brands and rising competition from European automakers like Volkswagen, BMW, and Renault, Tesla's days as the uncontested EV leader might be numbered. Musk's polarizing political involvement, combined with Tesla's resistance to European labor standards, has triggered backlash from unions, investors, and regulators alike. Meanwhile, the EU is tightening its grip with new trade policies and stricter corporate governance rules, further challenging Tesla's operations. So the big question remains: can Tesla recover in Europe, or is its decline irreversible? Will Musk adjust his strategy, mend relations with consumers, and steer Tesla away from political controversy? Or has Tesla already driven too far down the wrong road? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth automotive updates. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.